The hum of the ship's engines was a constant, soothing presence as I made my way through the dimly lit corridors of the SS Elysium. It was a deep space exploration vessel, one of humanity's finest, tasked with charting uncharted star systems and making first contact with alien civilizations. So far, the mission had been uneventful until today. I was just a junior engineer, barely 6 months into my first deep space assignment. My job was simple: keep the ship running smoothly and stay out of the way of the senior crew. But today, I'd been sent on an errand to deliver a data pad to the diplomatic liaison, Ambassador Krell. The pad contained schematics for a cultural exchange facility we were planning to build on a nearby planet. It was supposed to be a routine delivery, but nothing about this day would end up being routine. As I approached the ambassador's quarters, I noticed the door was slightly ajar. Strange. Ambassador Krell was notoriously meticulous about privacy, especially when dealing with sensitive diplomatic matters. I hesitated, then knocked lightly. "Ambassador Krell, I have the schematics you requested," I called out. No response. I knocked again, louder this time. Still nothing. Frowning, I pushed the door open slightly and peered inside. The room was empty, the lights dimmed to a soft glow. The ambassador's desk was cluttered with data pads and holographic projections of star maps. But what caught my attention was the faint sound of running water coming from the adjoining bathroom. I stepped inside, intending to leave the data pad on the desk and make a quick exit. But as I placed the pad down, I heard a sudden gasp, a sound of pure, unadulterated shock. My head snapped toward the bathroom door, which was now wide open. And there she was, the alien princess. I'd heard rumors about her, of course. She was part of a delegation from the Zephyrian Empire, a highly advanced and reclusive species we'd only recently made contact with. The Zephyrians were humanoid, but their features were strikingly exotic. Smooth, iridescent skin that shimmered like mother-of-pearl, elongated limbs, and eyes that glowed faintly in the dark. The princess, whose name was Lyria, was said to be the most beautiful of her kind. And she was standing in the doorway of the bathroom, completely unclothed. For a moment, time seemed to stop. Her eyes, a deep, luminous violet, widened in shock as they locked onto mine. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. I, on the other hand, was frozen in place, my brain short-circuiting as I tried to process what I was seeing. I'm so sorry," I stammered, my voice cracking. "I didn't mean to. I thought the ambassador was here. I'll just..." Before I could finish, Lyria raised a hand, her expression shifting from shock to something else. Amusement? Curiosity? It was hard to tell. She tilted her head, studying me with an intensity that made my cheeks burn. "You are human," she said, her voice melodic and slightly accented. "I have not seen one of your kind up close before." I swallowed hard, trying to avert my eyes but failing miserably. Yeah, I'm human. And you're, Zephyrian." She smiled, revealing teeth that were slightly sharper than a human's. "Indeed. And you are the first human to see me in this state. How intriguing." "I really didn't mean to intrude," I said quickly, my face now fully red. "I was just delivering something for Ambassador Krell. I'll leave now." I turned to go, but her voice stopped me. "Wait." I froze, my heart pounding. Slowly, I turned back to face her. She had wrapped herself in a silvery robe, but her gaze was still fixed on me, those violet eyes piercing through my very soul. "You are different from what I expected," she said, stepping closer. "Your kind is said to be brash and uncivilized. Yet you seem nervous, almost respectful." I blinked, unsure how to respond. Thanks. I mean, we're not all brash. Some of us are just trying to do our jobs and not mess things up." She laughed softly, a sound like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. I find you fascinating, human. What is your name? Alex, I said, still feeling like I was in some kind of surreal dream. Alex Carter. Alex Carter, she repeated, as if testing the name on her tongue. Tell me, Alex Carter, do all humans react as you do when they encounter something unexpected? I shrugged, trying to regain some semblance of composure. Depends on the situation, I guess. Walking in on an alien princess isn't exactly an everyday occurrence for me. She smiled again, and I couldn't help but notice how her iridescent skin seemed to shimmer even more brightly. Perhaps not, but I find your reaction endearing. Most of my kind would have been far less polite. Well, I try, I said, scratching the back of my neck awkwardly. So, should I go now? I don't want to get in trouble or anything. Lyria tilted her head again, considering. You may stay if you wish. I would like to learn more about you, Alex Carter. And just like that, my life took a turn I never could have anticipated. Over the next few weeks, Lyria and I developed an unlikely friendship. She was fascinated by humanity, and I was equally fascinated by her. We spent hours talking about our respective cultures, sharing stories, and learning from each other. She taught me about Zephyrian history, their advanced technology, and their deep connection to the cosmos. In return, I told her about Earth, our music, our art, and our endless curiosity about the universe. But our friendship didn't go unnoticed. Ambassador Krell, who had been absent during our first encounter, was less than pleased when he found out. He summoned me to his office one day, his expression stern. Do you have any idea what you've done, Carter? He demanded. The Zephyrians are a highly reserved species. Their princess is not someone you can just befriend. I didn't mean to cause any trouble, I said defensively. She was the one who wanted to talk to me. Krell sighed, pinching the bridge of his nose. Be that as it may, you need to be careful. One misstep could jeopardize our entire relationship with the Zephyrians. I nodded, feeling a pang of guilt. But deep down, I couldn't bring myself to regret meeting Lyria. She had opened my eyes to a whole new way of seeing the universe, and I wasn't ready to let that go. As the weeks turned into months, Lyria and I grew even closer. She confided in me about the pressures of her role as a princess, the expectations placed on her, and her longing for freedom. I, in turn, shared my own struggles. My insecurities, my dreams, and my fear of never living up to my potential. One day, as we sat together in the ship's observation deck, watching the stars streak by in hyperspace, Lyria turned to me with a serious expression. Alex, she said softly, I must return to my homeworld soon. My people need me. I felt a lump form in my throat. I'd known this day would come, but that didn't make it any easier. I understand, I said, forcing a smile. You have responsibilities. I get that. She reached out, placing a hand on mine. Her touch was cool and electric, sending a shiver down my spine. But I do not wish to leave you, she admitted. You have shown me a side of humanity I never knew existed. You have shown me kindness. I looked into her eyes, seeing the vulnerability there. You've shown me a lot too, Lyria. More than I ever expected. For a moment we just sat there, the silence between us heavy with unspoken words. Then, to my surprise, Lyria leaned in and kissed me.